is meditation. Meditation is a very loose word in English, but dhyanam, dhyanam is the right word for in Sanskrit, right? So dhyanam is complete focus onto one, that one which is there in everyone. So it need not have to be done in sitting in a corner. Everywhere, whatever opportunity we get to perceive this world through our senses, we can imagine his presence in that. A beautiful sound, Krishna. Beautiful sight, Krishna. What a thought, Krishna. What a speech, Krishna. Right? So I can see his presence in everything. That itself is dhyanam. That is actually meditation. Now, to attain that standards in life, it is not possible to directly jump on it. So the question was very foolish question. Should I go to, it is something like this. Should I go to, should I complete my post-graduation or should I start with, kindergarten? What is that question? To reach to that state, you have to start with kindergarten, first standard, second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on, right? And finally qualify at every stage and then move on to that final stage, right? Which one is important? Of course, that is important, but you cannot achieve that directly. Given the condition you are in and the age you are at, your current standards, the current grade which you are in is very important. Just because you want to become a doctor, you cannot start reading pathology from grade 2, grade 3 onwards. What you will not do justice to grade 2. What will happen to those subjects? You will miss on them. And so you will not be able to qualify to that standard later. This kind of a question is wrong, in its understanding itself. It's very wrong question. But compassionately, Bhagavan starts giving us a beautiful summary. And then he slowly takes us to karma yoga. Do the activities this way. Do not try to attach yourselves to the results of the action. Do not overly excite when the results come in your favor. Do not get into sorrow when the results are not as you expected. First of all, leave the expectation. From expectations comes the anger. From the anger comes all the other problems, right? So the lust and anger are something that you should always avoid. By avoiding that, you will consider your body and your senses as mere tools which are operating in this world. Internally, there will be Jiva which is closely watching everything and will have nothing to do with whatever are the results. Such will be the stand of Jiva. The stand of Jiva, when it gets promoted from a very, very down to materialistic state to a divine state, that transition should happen nowhere outside. That transition should happen to the Jiva which is residing inside in the city of 9 gates. Now, when Jiva, when he gets to that standard, there is no difference between me and him. He will be residing in me, Brahmastitaha. He will be residing in me at that point in time. There will be no difference between the Jiva and the Lord himself. At that point in time, then what is the purpose of life? Body is still there. Mind is still there. My senses are still there. But the Jiva has taken that huge accomplishment of situating itself into Brahman. Then why this body? Then Bhagavan says in 25 that yes, the body is still needed. Why? Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. For the benefit of every creature that I have created in this world, your body should serve. That's why this body. Just because you are realized, just because the knowledge is kicking in, running away from all the world and saying, oh, because I am now in a different category, I should only sit with those sadhus in some mountain. I should not be dealing with this world. Very incorrect. Here Bhagavan clearly mentions in 25 that the purpose of attaining that Brahman is also to have yata atmanaha, understand the true nature of the Atman, and residing in that true nature of Lord, work for the benefit of society. That very, very important part, the ending part of that verse, 25th, Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. He never said Sarva Manusha Hite Rataha. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha, which means Bhuta means not ghost. Every living creature that Bhagavan has created, work for the benefit of that creature. So that is the ultimate ideology. Without that good nature, if I start operating in this world, I will spoil everything. So next, let's go to 26. Likita Tali, let's continue. Kama Krodha Viyuktanam.
Kama Krodha Vimuktanam.
Viyuktanam. Vimuktanam is also fine, very correct word, but Viyuktanam. Kama Krodha Viyuktanam.
Kama Krodha Viyuktanam.
Yatinam Yatachetasam.
Yatinam Yatachetasam.
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam.
Abhito Brahma Nirvanam.
Vartate Viditatmanam.
Vartate Viditatmanam.
Vidita Atmanam. One who understands truly the very correct nature of the Atman. One who has realized that what resides in me is his presence, is his reflection. Let's say there is a mirror, and then Bhagwan reflects on the mirror and comes back and settles down in a place of 9 doors. That is this body. And within this body, he resides as a reflection of himself. Right? So you can call that reflection as Bhagwan himself. Why? Because it is no different from what he is. Similarly, the reflection is not only getting injected into me, it is getting injected into everyone, which we also call it as consciousness. Now, that reflection is same. When you know that, when we understand the Bhagwan's presence in that form, and that's such a person is Viditatmanaha, right? One who understands, one he knows his presence in us. And then, for such a person, Kama Krodha Viyuktanam, he goes, this is possible only when you have left the lust and anger. So this person can never get angry, can never get greedy in life. Such a person is Yatinam, one who has complete control on the senses is Yati. Yati is one who is completely controlling his senses. That is a person who is Yati. So Yatinam, Yatachetasam, such a thought, such a person will have the consciousness and thoughts which are no different from Lord's reflections. And such a person will find what? Abhito Nirvana. Abhito means everywhere, all around. Whatever you see, whichever location you put him in any difficult situation or a very, situation where there is a lot of possibility of getting into greed and lust, he or she will always come out clean. Have you ever seen how the mercury dances on the surface? Never ever you will be able to catch it, right? It always dances. Such will be the person. You put him anywhere in any kind of situation, good, bad, ugly, attractive, repulsive, doesn't matter. This person remains in constant focus of Paramatma. See how the transition has happened. Started with Karma Yoga, right? What should be done, how the work should be done, what should we do to the results, who is the owner of the actions. From there, we ended up where? We are ending up into a thought of doing nothing but just thinking about Bhagwan's presence in every possible situation. What is this? Dhyanam. A slow transition from karma to dhyana. This happens and karma automatically leaves. See, you are not forcing yourself not to do an activity. I see a lot of people are there, right, in this world. They say after 58, we have to take sannyasa. So after 58, what I will do, I will change the color of my clothes. Okay, I will make it little saffron. And then I cannot wear chappals after that. So I will have to wear something which is like, wooden thing. I'll wear that. And then I cannot stay in the house as like every normal person. So I will go to, this is what people say. Now, how good is that? This is not correct. What Bhagwan is saying is, let that happen if it happens, but let it happen as an after effect, but not as a forced approach. So he's saying, When you perform karma yoga in a proper way, there will be a time, whether in this life or next, there will be a time where such a thing will happen with joy as an end result. Have you seen flower pushing itself strongly and making a fruit out of it? No. It will take its own time. There are 100 flowers on the tree. Each one will become fruit at its own time. Oh, the next door flower is coming up and then getting into a fruit. So let me also rush. Let me become a fruit. No, this rush will not be there in nature. Same should be the nature of us, is what is. So the person who has complete control on the senses, who has given away the concept of lust, greed, and anger in life, and who is constantly thinking of Paramatman, who has understood his true nature and can see his presence everywhere, such a person will have nirvana, will acquire nirvana. What is nirvana? Have you ever heard about this word, nirvana? What is nirvana? Nirvana means no association with any desire. Zero association with any desire. Not only in one direction, like not only when it comes to eating. Some people say, you know what, I have gained control over my senses. You put anything in front of me, I will not eat. I will eat only whatever I need. Great. But let's say if I put you in a casino, there is nothing to eat, but there is something to play and gain money. What will you do? Oh my God, I want money. I'll put 100, I should get 10,000. I'll go play till my last dollar I should play. Now, this has nothing to do with food. But when it comes to food, you said, I'm not hungry. I'm not going to eat anything. Great. So in that direction, you are good. You think you are attaining nirvana there, not having a great desire. But when it comes to another dimension, we are not able to control ourselves. So Bhagavan says, one who has conquered greed and anger both, one who understands true nature of me, will never be in a position, you give him any dimension, such a person will never get associated with any desire, for that matter, in that dimension. All around, you take him to any situation. This means you put him in any situation, such a person will just not be attached to any desire, that situation. He will just say, I see what I see, I hear what I hear, I speak what I speak, right? I touch what I touch, but it has nothing to do with me. I'm least bothered. I am least bothered is the word he would use or she would use. Such a person is a true reflection of God. All right. Let's go. 27 and 28 go together. So Krishna, would you help me with 27? Let's chant together. Sparshan krutva bahirbahyam.
Sparshan krutva bahirbahyam.
Chakshushchaivantare bhruvoh.
Chakshushchairvantare bhruvoh.
Pranapanau samau krutva.
Pranapanau samau krutva.
Nasabhyantaraccharinau.
Nasabhyantaraccharinau.
Yatendriya manobuddhihi.
Yatendriya manobuddhihi.
Munirmokshaparayanah.
Munirmokshaparayanah.
Vigatechhabhayakrodho.
Vigatechhabhayakrodho.
Yah sada mukta eva saha.
Yah sada mukta eva saha.
Pranavitali, will you repeat?
Yes, sir.
Sparshan krutva bahirbahyan.
Parshan Kritva Bahirbahyam
Chakshushchaivantare Bhruvoh
Chakshushchaivantare Bhruvoh
Pranapanau Samau Krutva
Pranapanau Samau Krutva
Nasyabhyantaracharinau
Nasyabhyantaracharinav
Yatendriyamano Buddhihi
Yatendriyamano Buddhihi
Munirmokshaparayanah
Munirmokshaparayanah
Vigatechhabhayakrodho
Vigatecha Bhayakrodo
Yasada Mukta eva saha.
Yah Sada Mukta Eva Saha.
Now, okay, first of all, you put him in any situation, this person will never be able to concentrate and, get associated with anything. But how is it possible? Like, because for a person like me, for example, I understand it is important to be like that. But when you leave me to my own world, I will also have a world because I have senses. I have a mind, very, very important. This mind, you cannot change the nature of the mind. You can control. You can put a lion into a cage, but you cannot make it a cat by just putting into the cage. It will still remain lion. You put your hand, the moment you put your hand, it will not be there. It will do what it has to do because it is lion. It's not a cat to lick your hand. It will bite it. So just because you have put it in cage, it doesn't become a cat. Lion remains a lion. Monkey remains a monkey. Mind is a monkey. Whatever you do, the mind cannot change its true nature. It will constantly adhere to the reactions of the senses. Whatever comes through these sense organs, the gates called sense organs, and our karmendriyas, it will accommodate them. It is such a caring mother, it will accommodate every child equally. It will say, okay, fine. I will go, I will try to pull in every information that you are bringing and I will do justice to it. Now, what justice it will do depends on the intellect. If intellect says go, pamper it, enjoy, it will do it. If it says go, what do you learn in Bhagavad Gita, 25th, 24th, 23rd, just leave away that lust which is slowly coming up. Can you see that? Just keep it off. So it can act in both directions, but it will not stop bringing in and processing the information. Now, Bhagwan is so compassionate that he understands how this mechanism of the factory works. He tells there are few switches in your body and related to your mind. Play around with those switches. Play around with those switches. Practice. Quick question will be, controlling your greed and anger. How can I control my greed and anger? How is it possible? How? Okay, I want to control. How? What is the method? Method. Just control. Have you seen people saying like that? Speak truth. Okay, how? Just speak truth. That's it. Say, there has to be given some technique. By just saying do this and not telling how, it's impossible. So Bhagwan has given a technique of trying to control anger, trying to control greed and lust. And this practice starts with the first thing about meditation he has mentioned here in these two verses. This, if we practice over a period of time, we will inculcate the habit of getting away from strong desires and attractions of this materialistic world. Now, what is that process? The process is very simple. There will be a child in your family who will be crying for the chocolate. Just don't give him the chocolate, but be with the child. Show love. Pat him all the time. Let him cry. Hug him, but don't give what he's asking for. Exactly. So the same way. Sparshan krutva, take all the senses, let it come. Bahir bakhyan, whatever is coming from outside, leave it outside. Guest coming from outside, I know you will go one day. You are not permanent in my house. So you can come and sit, okay. I will not do anything. But I know you have to go. So I will not create a temporary, changes to the bed and everything for your sake, because I know you want to go, you will go away. I will not make you comfortable. This is what it is. I have a house, I have a room, I have a bed, I have these resources. Come, please use it, and you can stay here as long, and then I know you will be going one day. So I'll not give any extra attention to you. This is what the person speaks to his thoughts that come in. Huh? Oh, I get a thought that I should probably, go to a party. Go to the party. Great. You see lot of things coming and, trying to attract you there, which are not correct. You will see all of them coming your way. You will be sitting at the same table where every other person, but you will not allow what you don't want to allow. You will say, okay, this is just temporary feeling. I see how it works, but you cannot do anything to me. Because you came from outside, you have to go out. Bahir bakhyan. What comes from outside is thrown outside. Okay? Then, so when you are meditating, it is very, very simple, right? So when we are meditating, we first of all have to accept the fact that we are not closing anything. Meditating is not like putting plugs in your ears, closing your eyes, nose, mouth, will die. So meditating is about letting everything come in. Let everything come in. But what comes from out goes out. Let's keep that out. Let's not keep that in. Keep that out. Okay, let's say I'm just sitting here. I get a thought of, all right, so I think I should play my mridangam next. Well, that's a thought that came from outside. Keep it out. That's not in anymore. That thought came, it's out right now. This is called Bahir Bakhyan. And Bhagwan says, focus on a spot. Which spot? He says, Bhruva Antare, Chakshuhu Bhruva Antare. Chakshuhu means eyes. Bhruvaha means brows, eyebrows. The middle part of it, where you can focus on. That does not mean you squint your eyes like that. It does not mean that. It only means whatever you are seeing, you are just focusing on this part. Have you ever tried daydreaming? You don't have to try. It happens, right? Daydreaming. You're talking to somebody, person is sitting in front of you, is talking, and then you are lost. You are looking at some other part, like a wooden stand or something. Well, there is nothing that you have to do with the wooden stand at that point in time. But your focus is on wooden stand. He is talking, he or she is talking, and you're constantly seeing at the wooden stand as if you are going to create a project out of that stand. You're trying to convert that wooden stand into something else. Nothing like that. No intention like that. Just that your focus is there, but your senses are all listening to the person in front of you. Daydreaming. Sometimes it happens. Somebody has to come and shake you up and say, hey, where are you? I'm talking to you. And then say, oh, I lost in some thoughts. Yes. That getting lost in thought is nothing but focusing into something else. Now that focus, Bhagwan says, that can be focused upon me. Okay, but that will come later. First of all, sparshan krutva, take the senses, bahir bakhyan. If it's obviously they will come from outside, so keep them out. Focus on a spot between your eyebrows and the eyes. That does not mean you look at there. He never said look at there. He said focus on there, which means you only are focusing on what is happening around that area or what is there in that area, something like that. And then a technique where Bhagwan says, there focus on the breath. Prana, apana, samau krutva. Nothing goes faster, nothing goes slower. Prana means the air that we take in. We are saying air, but it is not air. It leads to life. Air is a material word. But what it brings in you is the actual thing, actual concept, which is called life. Life in us is because of the breath we take, isn't it? So that quotient of life that goes in and brings awareness of who I am is called prana. Similarly, the results of an activity that's happening inside me, my thoughts, my body actions, my hormonal actions, whatever it could be, the outcome of it need not have to be always good for the body. It could be something which is a waste. For example, when you create a nice, beautiful jewelry, do you think gold merchant's shop where they make jewelry is all neat and tidy? No. Only the shelves where they place the final ornament is neat and tidy. You should go back and see where they are making all these instruments. Full of dirty liquids, water, and all that stuff. A lot of chemicals. That place is not really neat and tidy. You cannot have that, because gold has to go through a lot of purification process before it shines, right? So all that process will need a lot of dirt, dust, everything, and that will be lying around, right? So here as well, the body, when it performs a lot of actions for the benefit of this body, right, there will be waste. That waste, there is a quotient of waste which gets generated because of the lively activities which are happening. That has to be gone out. And the best way body throws that out, we call it as carbon dioxide is thrown out. Along with the carbon dioxide, it is not only carbon dioxide, a lot of other things go out. When you sneeze, why do you sneeze? I know Likita is a doctor here. Likita, why do we sneeze? What happens when we sneeze?
It can happen anytime, uncle. It can be due to some allergy. It can be to send out the dust particles.
So sending out the dust particles is also part of the body activity. When it does that, it throws everything out. Bhagwan is saying, not just focus on, one part of it. There is a life gaining aspect of it, and there is also throwing of waste out of it. Both are equally happening. Both are important for you. He's saying regulate them. I'm very sure that if you concentrate on yourself, how you are delving in day to day, sometimes we don't even take enough oxygen in. We just take it for granted that the nose is open, so air will go in. We are not conscious about what we are taking in. So that is prana and apana, samakrutva, balance it out. Remember how many counts you're taking in. I mean, you don't have to count, but you know how much you have taken in. Throw it out as well in the same volume. Don't keep it inside. Don't keep that residue inside. Sometimes it happens when everything is good. By nature, when we are born, everything is like born in a way that it balances off us. But over a period of time, because of laziness, what happens is the amount of prana we take is lesser. And obviously, what we are throwing out is also lesser. And there's no balance between these two, right? So Bhagwan is saying, have a correct balance between prana and apana. How you can do that? By focusing on it. How you can focus when your mind is agitated and everywhere you're looking into and distracted? So don't look at that. Focus on a spot, which I'm telling you. Balance your breath, right? And then where you have to focus when you are taking the breath, not on the tip of the nostril, but nasya abhyantara. Nasya abhyantara is, these are two nasikas. The portion that actually connects both of those. That spot. Remember, those two nostrils are taking the air in, but there is only one opening in, right? Focus on there and then assume whatever is going in and coming out from that location. Understand what's happening at that spot. So focus on that way. And then it did not stop. 28th, he said, Yata Indriya Mano Buddhihi. Indriya, Manaha, Buddhi. All components that can distract you. Yata. Yata means have a constant control. They will, at any given point in time, they have this attitude of running away. Put them into the jail now. First of all, prepare yourself and then put them into the jail. Huh? All right. And then when you put that, they will ask, okay, we are here now. You have put everybody into the jail. What we can do? We need to do something. Okay, if you want to do something, chant Bhagwan's name. Moksha parayanaha. Focus on what you want to really achieve. Now, you can think of a materialistic gain at that point in time. You can also think about Lord. The moment you think of Lord, Moksha Siddhi will be the final goal that you keep for yourself and will be stepping at least one step closer to that, right? But if you put a materialistic goal at that point in time, that also will be achieved with same aggressiveness and pace, but we will not have the ability to control our anger and emotions if we keep a materialistic goal. So that's why when somebody says, look at the dot, or focus on what you want to become, no. So those will again lead to anger and greed at some point in time. But if you want to get away from that, the thing is we must focus on Lord, His presence in everyone, His act, how He plays in this world. All those stories of Lord, you can focus on that. You can think of that. Now that will be leading to moksha parayana. Parayana means reaching, transcending. We say transcending is a word we use in English, right? From a lower ground to a higher ground, you leap. That's called transcending. So that will happen in spiritual life also. The more we focus on Lord during meditation, the transcending obviously will happen. So that is parayana. And this will also result in something. What is that? Vigata ichha bhaya krodha. Yes, sada mukta eva saha. So this will result in leaving the greed, anger, and the wants in us, leading to what? Mukti. Muktaha means what? Freedom. Ultimate freedom. When a person is free to do anything, is he happy or sad? Always happy. So that kind of emotional freedom, intellectual freedom, and spiritual freedom is one that anyone can achieve by practicing meditation on a regular basis. So that is why Dhyanam is important. Now, Arjuna's first question, is Dhyanam important or is karma important? Dhyanam is important, but you cannot get there on day one. To get there, first step is do your duties. How? As per the concept of Karma Yoga. Do that. Slowly you will have the ability to control, put the mind and body into the cage. Because unless and until you get the art of doing that, which can only come when you do Karma Yoga, right? Unless you put your body, mind, intellect, and senses into a cage, control them, you cannot attain the spirit of, the essence of meditation cannot be achieved. So to do meditation, you have to first control and prepare yourself. And that preparation is all about Karma Yoga. So that is important. For me, at least, I think I'm not ready for Dhyana yet. So we'll have to do Karma Yoga a lot. And then obviously there will be a time where I can put a lot of effort in Dhyana. We have 8 more minutes and one more verse. So let's complete that. Anshitali. Oh, let's have Reem today. Reem, I want to listen your sweet voice.
Okay.
Hello, I'll go slow and then you can also repeat. Okay, beta? Want to chat along with me? Anyway, they'll not be able to listen to you. They're far away. Bhoktaram.
Uktaram.
Bhoktaram.
Uktaram.
Yajna.
Yagna.
Tapasa.
Tapasa.
Sarvaloka.
Sarvaloka.
Maheshwaram.
Maheshwaram.
Suhrudam.
Suhrudam.
Sarva.
Sarva.
Bhutanam.
Bhutana.
Jnatva.
Natva. Tva
Mam
Mam
Shantim
Shantim
Ruchhati.
Ruchati.
Very good, beta. Very good. All right. Likita, will you chant after me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bhoktaram yajnatapasam
Bhoktaram yajnatapasam
sarvalokamaheshwaram
sarvalokamaheshwaram
suhrudam sarvabhutanam
suhridam sarvabhutanam
ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं ऋच्छति.
ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिं ऋच्छति.
All this we are doing for the purpose of attaining mental peace, for attaining happiness. The ultimate goal of every life is to stay happy. But unfortunately, we search for happiness in things that are temporary. So the moment that happiness is lost, we become panic struck and then get into a mode of sorrow. Because we think that, okay, having money is happiness. So I strive for money. The moment that money is lost, because it's temporary, it keeps moving, coming and going, right? So the moment it is lost, I feel sad. I felt that the happiness is in, having great relationships around and, running around people. But those also come and go. No, nothing stays forever, right? So when those things go, we again feel sad. I thought happiness will be in having nice food. Over a period of time, doctors will start saying that, hey, you should not eat this food, otherwise you are going to die in next 2 years if you continue like this. Okay. So then I stopped. But when I stopped, I said, oh, I used to eat this a lot. Now I cannot eat. Sadness. Now, that is because I always, as a jiva, I have always started looking at happiness and things that are around me in this world that Bhagwan has created like illusions around me. And I found that anything that is temporary, I thought it is going to give me a permanent happiness. That illusion was incorrect. So I was lost. Bhagwan says, now understand that whatever somebody is offering in this world, whether it is offering to himself, to his mouth, or someone else's mouth, whether he is feeding himself or others, whether he is serving himself or others, whether he is doing justice to his body or serving others' body like a nurse, whatever is happening in this world as an offering of service, as an offering of benefit, as an offering of creating pleasure for yourself or others, everything is ultimately enjoyed by none other than Brahman. How? Why would Brahman enjoy? Why would Lord enjoy? Why would Krishna enjoy? He doesn't have any desire. How come he enjoys? The concept of enjoyment itself is something which cannot exist without his presence. Have you ever seen a person in coma who can hear everything, a good news also? Everything is happening, but do you think that he or she is enjoying in that state? No, we don't realize that. But is it not the fact that the ears are working, the heart? If you probably closely monitor the heart rate or anything like that, there will be a slight change. But this person is not in a mood or in a fit state to respond through bodily gestures. But there could be change in other parameters of his or her life that show some deviation when you throw a happy news or a sad news onto such a person. These kind of experiments can always happen, and they will show us that this is correct. Right? Now, what happens is the expression of enjoyment is not possible unless we have his presence, Bhagwan's presence in us, because we have to be aware that I'm enjoying. Otherwise, how would I know I'm enjoying? If I'm smiling, if my lips are smiling on a good news, that means something inside me has accepted that it is a good news. Who has accepted it? Brain? Brain, if you keep it outside, will it accept? No. We think that this is all just material nature. This matter inside me is enjoying. The matter inside me is not enjoying. For that matter also to realize what is enjoyment and what is sadness, what is sorrow, something else has to be there. That supreme power is Lord. Without him, enjoyment cannot be an enjoyment. That's why he says that I am not only in you, I am everywhere. So whatever offering in this world is happening, whatever expression of enjoyment that is happening in this world, bhoktaram, pleasure, whatever self-satisfaction that in this world exists, is all going back to him. So when I and my enemy are competing for a post, if he wins or she wins, I'm calling it as enemy. I should not even call that as enemy, because there is no enemy in this world, right? If other person is getting to a goal where I was anticipating myself to be there, I must say that the enjoyment that happens, the pleasure that is gained by this person at that point in time is also going back to my Lord. It's going back to him. So at that point in time, how can I be jealous? I can never be jealous for such a person. So, bhoktaram yajna tapasam. When you do yajna, when you do tapa, whatever enjoyment or experiences or benefits that arise, it's all going back to him. Whom? One who is Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. The one who is the ultimate authority of all, the Lord of all this world. When I say all this world, where is world? World is within me, right? It's my senses, my body, my mind, my buddhi is the world for me. Likewise for everyone else. So he is the boss of all these worlds. World in me, world in you, world in everyone. He is the ultimate boss. So everything is offered back into him. Like how we pay taxes to the government, the enjoyment goes back to him. So I don't keep anything to me, right? Suhrudam Sarvabhutanam. He is in the hearts of everyone. Sarvabhutanam. Jnatvamam. The way, if you understand me like this, if you know me like this, that I am the ultimate enjoyer and I am residing in everyone's heart, then how can you differentiate yourself from others? It is not possible, right? At such a state of mind, one would always be assured to have ultimate peace. Ultimate peace. Such a person can never create a destruction. Such a person can never imbalance the harmony in the society, and he or she will be a role model for many others in terms of spreading goodness, right? Such a person will attain mental satisfaction, peace that he's always looking for. In what? In some temporary items, food, money, right? That is all temporary. But if you want to have permanent happiness, this is the secret. Understand, Lord is the ultimate authority for the enjoyments and pleasures of this world, not belonging to one person, but everyone on this world. He is the one who is receiving all the enjoyment. If we understand that and understand that his presence in everyone's heart, there is no way we can be disturbed. That is also one of the other ways to come out of Krodha and Kama, greed and envy. So let's close this chapter with Tatsaditi. Pranavitali. Om Tatsaditi.
Om Tatsaditi
Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu
Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu
Upanishadsu
Upanishadsu
Brahma Vidyayam
Brahma Vidyayam
Yoga Shastre
Yoga Shastre
Shri Krishnarjuna Samvade
Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama
Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama
Panchamo Adhyayah.
Panchamo Adhyayah.
That we close our 5th chapter. We understand things to a certain extent. Maybe when the second read, when we do later, we are fortunate enough to repeat this chapter again sometime later. we will have deeper understanding. But over a period of time, we just keep chanting, you will understand the nuances and read commentaries regularly again and again. Our understanding will be solidified. Okay. All right. Let's close the session with prayers. Om Sarvesham Swasthir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम. See you all. Have a good rest of the week. We'll again catch up next week and continue with. We'll have a summary of chapter 5 and then chapter 6. Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Uncle. Jai Shri Krishna.
Bye, Nana. Jai Shri Krishna.